Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to do some quarterfinal predictions for the Club World Cup. Fluminense versus Al Hilal is about to kick off, but I just want to rush this in really quick. Before anything, I just want to say rest in peace to Diogo Jota and his brother. It's a tragedy. It's really sad. What happened to them? He's such like a likable guy. Like he's really like he was a great footballer. Let's get that out of the way. He scored a ton against Arsenal, but it just breaks my heart kind of to see this kind of tragedy happen. I can't really remember any like player dying like kind of in their prime. I think he's 28, turning 29. He's still like at his best. He struggled with injuries, but like no one deserves this man. And thoughts go out to his family, his kids, all the Liverpool fans, everyone affected by this, Portuguese fans. And it's just so sad. It made me not even want to make this video yesterday. I kind of just didn't even feel like doing content. I just kind of felt like it didn't feel right talking about games and stuff or transfers or anything like that, even though there was news. But I feel like that kind of dominated everyone's mind, and it's just such a loss for the football world. So rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to his brother. And yeah, thoughts go out to everybody. Today also wanted to address quickly the Thomas Partey allegations. He's been charged with the R word that I will not say, but we kind of knew that these allegations were around, and that something was probably going to come of them. I mean, nobody really knew, but he got booed every game. Like they say, I think most of the reports said that they've been investigating since 2021, 2022, and you know hopefully he's innocent and nobody got assaulted, and none of this, and they're just allegations. But if he's guilty, lock him up, throw away the key. Despite I know I said I wanted to keep him at Arsenal, but that was before any of this. That was before anyone knew that these were real charges going against him. And that's the club. If they knew anything about this, anyone that knows about it should be in some sort of trouble too. There's a lot of questions. Should the club suspended him? There's a lot of videos of Arteta coming out and talk about how great of a guy he is, which is just it's very strange. And I'm sure I like to think that he didn't know any of this for sure. He's just trying to back someone that he works with, because nothing was charged yet, nothing was official. But now that it is, um, yeah, we'll just see how it plays out. I don't really want to touch on it too much, just because it's such a sensitive topic and we don't know anything that's going on with it really. Just that he's been charged and these rumors have been around for a while. But yeah, I just want to address that because I am an Arsenal fan and I feel obligated to say something about that. So today I'm gonna predict Fluminense versus Al Hilal and go from there. Just because it's on today, it's gonna start in a couple minutes. But yeah. So Al Hilal, they knocked out City in a thriller. Honestly, um I thought City was gonna win that game pretty easily. I thought I not maybe not easily. That's the wrong word, because this is like the best team in Saudi Arabia. But I thought City was kind of my favorite to win this entire thing. Just the way they've been playing, their new signings, and how they've kind of gelled. They've kind of looked like City of old. But Al Hilal did a great job. Shout out to Inzaghi. Really proved a lot of people wrong, especially because Inter got knocked out. It would have been cool to maybe see him versus Inter, but maybe he wasn't the problem. I mean, no, you don't lose 5-0 in the Champions League final and then not be the problem. But yeah, so just looking into it quickly, I think, um, I, I think Al Hilal gets it done. I think Fluminense is a great team. They've had some great results, and they are really solid. And the Brazilian teams have stepped up a lot in this tournament, but I think Al Hilal's they have a lot of quality players, a lot of European proven players: Koulibaly, Neves, Cancelo, Milinkovic-Savic. Even Malcolm was at Barca for a little bit. Banu obviously had that great World Cup 2022 performance. But yeah, if I'm really gonna go make a prediction on this, I'd probably say Al Hilal. I think this is gonna be a close game. I don't think it'll be a high scoring game like City, because I think both teams will kind of try to stay compact and not give up too many chances. So it's really gonna be a matter of who takes their chances. and I think it would be Al Hilal. Maybe probably 2-1. I would say I could see Fluminense getting a goal. Maybe it's a consolation goal. Maybe Al Hilal go up 2-0 and they just kind of get one back later. But I think an Al Hilal win 2-1 is my opinion on this game. I think they've been one of the most underrated teams. They obviously played Madrid to a draw, and they're probably the best team in Saudi Arabia, other than Al Ittihad maybe is the other team you could say maybe, but I don't know. I think they've shown that the Saudi that maybe Ronaldo was right about the Saudi league and that the quality is high. I mean, it's definitely higher than the MLS. Um, we saw how they did in this competition, but yeah, I would go with an Al Hilal. I don't watch Saudi. I don't watch Brazil a lot, even though it's in my side of the ocean, I should say. Uh, but from what I've seen out of this tournament, I think Al Hilal is a lot more impressive. I think they're a lot more dynamic, and they have a lot more they have a big chance of maybe going on and being a team. I think it's a team at the beginning of the tournament, especially when they were linked to Bruno Fernandes. If they brought him in, a team that a lot of people said would be an underdog to win it, and Fluminense, like the Brazilian teams are great in this competition, but I not that I can't see them getting it done. I wouldn't put my money on it. So yeah, that's basically what I had to say for this match. Um, the other match on today is Palmeiras Chelsea. They don't have anything for it. So, uh, I think this is a really good game. I think this is going to be a back and forth kind of basketball match game. Chelsea are missing players. I think Lavia is supposed to be hurt. Caicedo's missing from suspension. Um, I think Palmeiras is missing a couple players. I'm not sure. Yeah, they have a couple injuries. Chelsea do too, but it doesn't show the suspensions, which is a little annoying. But yeah, even with that in mind, I think it would be a close game. I think it would be like I would probably give it to 3-1 Chelsea, but I would give it like a close 3-1. I think Palmeiras are a team I could see going through, and I think they have a bigger chance on. Funnily, I think that they have a bigger chance against Chelsea than um Fluminense have against Al Hilal, even though that is probably a closer game on paper. I think this team has been the best Brazilian team in this competition, and I picked them for a sleeper to go far in this competition. Um, they obviously struggle against Inter Miami, and it would have been nice to see what they would have done if they went up against PSG, but maybe they meet them in the final. Who knows? But yeah, like I said, I don't watch a lot of Brazil, but from what I've seen, I think this team is really strong. I think they have a lot of attacking output, as do Chelsea. Both of these teams are kind of weak defensively, so it could be a higher score game. It could be a 3-2, 4-3 type of game. But yeah, I think without Caicedo in the middle, especially if they don't have Lavia, Chelsea's midfield is I don't know how well they're gonna do dominating the midfield. So that might be an area that Palmeiras can take over. But I still think Chelsea, higher quality team. They've been great in this competition. Absolutely smashed Benfica, even though it was a close game and the delay and all that shit that happened. It was close before that, but I still think that I still think Chelsea gets through. That would be my pick. They are a great team. They were great last season in the Prem, despite their form in the middle of the season and dips from Cole Palmer. But I think this is a game that he could take over. I think it's a game that he should show his quality without having his main midfielders behind him, other than Enzo. Um, and he Chelsea want to win this tournament, they need him to show up. As much as I don't want them to, I would love for Palmeiras to go through. I'll be rooting for them tonight when I watch it. But um, yeah, I think I have Chelsea going through. Just the European teams, they just have so much more quality than a lot of these other teams. And yeah, Palmeiras, great team. Could see them squeaking out a 1-0, a 2-1. Um, I think both teams honestly will score in this game. I don't like I said, I don't think they're great defensively, but Chelsea's my pick to go through. Uh, now to the I guess you could say the more interesting games because they're two European teams. Obviously, I'm gonna leave the PSG Bayern for last because that's the biggest clash. That's that's a crazy game. That's a Champions League level clash. So obviously we have the Champions League final of 2 years ago now, or the year before last, or this year. Real Madrid versus Dortmund. I mean, I think it's very easily Real Madrid. I think now that they have Mbappe back, um, Dortmund, like, I haven't been convinced by them a lot in this competition, and I even think they struggled against Monterrey. Obviously, like they missed a lot of chances. Monterrey late in the game to send it to extra time. Ramos had that header in like the 91st minute, and I can't see Dortmund. I really can't see Dortmund beating them. I think Real Madrid are just so much better than them at the moment. I think Madrid under Alonso are flying. Um, Gittins missing, Schlotterbeck missing. I mean, Madrid aren't missing anybody really. Like this line, like the look comparing the two lineups, it's like day and night. I mean, Grassi's a great player. Adeyemi's a good player. Sule can turn up. Kobo, I think, is a great goalie. Gross, I think, is a very underrated player. But I mean, look at that Madrid midfield: Guler, Valverde, Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius up top. It's hard not to say that Madrid doesn't go through maybe 3 or 4-0, honestly, in this game. I think it might be a thrashing. I think Dortmund have looked haven't looked like the team that went to the Champions League final just a year ago. I think that they've lost. I mean, they're missing players from injury, but I think they've just lost something about them. I think under Sahin, they obviously sacked him, and they just looked terrible. They were like 10th or 11th in the Bundesliga, and Madrid obviously didn't start that well this season, but they still came second. And Madrid on a shit year still went to a Champions League quarters, Copa del Rey final, came second in the league, was not far off of winning the league. I mean, they lost to Barca in every game, but I think that's just more Barca's quality than Madrid's lack of quality. And I think Courtois is an absolute wall when Madrid get peppered. So even if Dortmund does ramp up the pressure in this game, I see Courtois mitigating a lot of it, saving a lot, making a lot of important stops, and even Madrid's bench options, like this kid, this Garcia kid, like he's been tearing it up in this competition, and he looks like almost like he could be a super sub if Vinicius or Mbappe's having a poor game. Obviously, Mbappe's coming off that illness, but I think Madrid just have the overwhelming quality. I think they've looked so much better in this competition. They've looked like a different team than a couple months ago, and I think they probably go through. I would say 3-0. That would be my prediction. And lastly, Bayern Munich versus PSG. Battle of the giants, European giants, the treble holders versus the sextuple winners of 5 years ago now. Wow, of COVID, I guess you could say the German giants, the biggest team in Germany, who have looked very good in this competition. Um, beating beating Flamengo I think that's a low key a statement win because I think Flamengo was another one of Brazil's strongest teams. The Brazilian teams are obviously turning up in this competition, but um, they showed some resilience there. They went up early. They went up quite um easily, and then they just ramped up the pressure. Even when the pressure got put on them, they kind of rose to the occasion. I think Olise has been great in this competition. He's probably been their best player. Arguably been their best player all season. But I this is such a tough game. It's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a great game. I would have to say PSG just because of how great they are. I think they play such amazing football. I think their midfield is probably the best in the world right now. Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, all of them. I think Vitinha is world class. I think João Neves is world class, borderline world class, and Fabian Ruiz is like right there. A very underrated player, very good player for Spain, a good player for Napoli when he was there. But I would give it tight to PSG. I think I think just the way they play, they have Dembele now. They attack. When their attack is flowing, it's flowing. I don't think Bayern's defense is like this great, solid, organized defense that they've had of the last couple of years. I mean, obviously they lost to Benfica. Uh, PSG lost to Botafogo, but I mean, I think that's just more the Brazilians turning up. They get more of the atmosphere and stuff. I I haven't been too convinced with Bayern other than the Flamengo game. I really don't think. I mean, beating Auckland City 10-0, like I guess that's but like I think beating Atletico Madrid 4-0. It's such a defensive team is way more impressive. I think PSG just has the quality. Hakimi, um, Nuno Mendes have been the best two fullbacks in the world. Pacho, Marquinhos have been phenomenal. They're two great defenders, world class defender in Marquinhos, veteran defender. Pacho, a younger up and comer, does great for Ecuador. Was good at Frankfurt last year. And then like their attacking options I think are just too much. If Kavic is having a bad game, you bring on Barcola, like Due, Dembele, Goncalo Ramos even. These guys are they this is like a this is like a team you build on in like a FIFA career mode, and you go out and try and win every trophy you can, which I mean they have this year. You can't really say anything about this PSG team other than they've been great, especially in 2025 because everybody doubted them in 2024. They were low in the Champions League group, but they ran away with the league by I think they're up by like 25 points in March or April when they mathematically won it, and I think they were undefeated up until that point. They almost went invincible in the league. But yeah, I think PSG wins it. I think it's gonna be a close game. I would think it's probably a 2-1, squeaky 2-1. I think PSG probably go up early and kind of coast through the game. Maybe Bayern bring one back, but I could see them just completely dismantling Bayern. But if Bayern want to win this game, they have to be good defensively. They have to win the midfield. I mean, they don't have their midfielders aren't slouches. They have Musiala, Goretzka, Kimmich, um, in the midfield. These guys are they've won at the biggest stage. They've beaten this PSG, not this PSG team, but they've beaten great teams of the past, contended for Champions Leagues, and but I think the youth, how fast they play, how elegant and smooth it is. I think it's just a PSG win. That's all. Not all I can really see, but I think that's where I would go if I were to bet on these games. As for that, if I were to guess, probably a Chelsea PSG final. Maybe Madrid get it done. It would probably be PSG Madrid, and I think PSG will go through. And then whoever plays Chelsea, I think this is probably Chelsea's. I think Palmeiras is a tougher game than Al Hilal or Fluminense, but probably a Chelsea PSG final, and I'd give it to PSG in the end. So they're my pick to win it all, but well, obviously I'll talk about those games when and if they happen. Yeah, so I'll see you guys then. Happy 4th of July to everybody, and see you.